Thank you, Himanshu. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to invite a very talented guest speaker today. So his name is Saurabh Toshniwal. He's a CA, Chartered Accountant. He's CMA. He's a business person. He has rank in CMA and has aced all CMA and CA exams in one go. And trust me, that's a very big thing to achieve. And आपने कोरा के बारे में सुना होगा, and he's a very popular writer on Quora and has over 5 million views. And with over 75 plus published articles, he is one person whose interaction should not never be missed. He also he's a guest blogger as well. He's an aspiring mentor and has already counseled around 4,000 students. So having this kind of an experience and sharing that experience with us is a wonderful thing to happen today. He's a very passionate speaker, and he's been awarded with best presenter awards in the past. And I'm really feeling very blessed to have Saurabh Toshniwal among us to discuss his views here. Over to you, Himanshu.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you. Thank you, Mayank, for the introduction, and Himanshu for this opportunity, this platform. Hello, viewers. Welcome to this session. We are going to talk today about the future of our CA profession, our beloved profession, जिसे शायद इंडिया के बारे में जितना हम प्यार करते हैं हमारे देश को, उसके बाद जो दूसरा सबसे ज्यादा हमें चाहिता है, या फिर वो जो दो लेटर्स इनिशियल जो हमारे बहुत चाहिते हैं, वो है CA. पहले ड्रीम होता है, फिर ड्रीम होने के बाद एक सक्सेस मिलती है, ये लेटर्स मिलते हैं, और फिर जिंदगी भर हम इन दो लेटर्स के साथ चलते हैं. लेकिन कब तक चलेंगे, ये एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल है. एंड हाउ लॉन्ग आर वी रियली गोइंग टू कीप दिस टाइटल with a very high ranking or a high value attached to it, because of the things that have happened recently, the COVID-19, NFRA, PwC, the scandals, scams, ICAI versus students का protest हो रहा है दिल्ली में, coaching classes. Well, there is a lot to speak about this profession. Sometimes it's also called the controversial profession amongst all the professions that we have in our commerce stream. So usually we don't hear much about CS, CMA and other professions as compared to CA, because CA is right now, it's more like the popular star kid of Bollywood, or the popular leader of political party, which gains all the attention of all kind of people, everyone, everywhere, wherever they are. And it's being a global profession, being a profession where there are a lot of powers in the hand of the people, as well as a lot of duties, which sometimes people fail to address, sometimes people forget. And there's a lot to talk about this profession. So that's why we decided that we should talk about the future of this profession today, in a situation where we are right now, right in between the, just one second. We are right in between the future and the past. It's more like the christening of something. It's like the time is going to be divided into two parts, which is post-COVID and pre-COVID. The world is changing right now. So just one second. Okay. So the world is changing right now. And what we need to see is, do we fit in that new world? Do we fit in that new world where CA profession can exist? Can it thrive? Can it succeed? Will it be doubled? Are the opportunities getting more, less? Everything we are going to talk today. apart from that, we are also going to talk about how students can see their future in this profession, how the freshers can see the future in their profession, what the existing CAs need to do. I think they are capable of and matured enough to understand. But here I am with 5 to 8 years of my experience in this profession, 5 years post qualification and 3 years prior to that as in articleship. I'm just going to help a lot of students today, as well as the freshers who have just qualified this exam or in the first 5 years of their profession, to understand or to learn whatever I have learned from my career so far, what I have experienced from in my career so far. And to speak about my career so far, well, I have been working in I had worked in Deloitte for a year, later on in Young Bangalore. Later after that, prior to that, I was in a mid-size firm for articleship in Pune. So that's how my experience has been, and the whole purpose of my varied and moving. The varied and moving kind of opportunities, or making most of the different kind of opportunities, was to experience. My plan was to experience as much as I can in the first few years of my profession, of my career, so that I can choose what I need to do in future as well. So today I'm just going to share a lot of those experiences and a few tips, or you can call it as some light that I'm going to throw on things that can be done, or you can also try in your career and maybe make it successful. So before I talk about the future of CA profession, we need to talk about the CA profession. क्या है ये profession? And people call different names for the CA profession. Some call it as my tax preparer. Some call it as the auditors. Some call it as the consultants. There are so many roles that a chartered accountant play today into the lives of the business. But in short, I would always say that CA profession is, first of all, they are auditors. This is something that nobody else can be. To be very frank, other professions have very, very limited scope when it comes to audit, and it's our proprietary right that auditing can be done only by CA profession. So firstly, we are auditors, and then after that, we are tax professionals. We might go into transfer pricing, we might go into investment banking opportunities, financing, capital financing, rights issue. There are so many opportunities that we have, but apart from everything else that we have in our bouquet, as an auditor, we are the whole and sole responsible person when it comes to audits. So never forget that your knowledge of auditing is going to be tested in different ways, whether it's the audit portion of tax audit, whether it's the certification where you need to give 100% surety that the certificate or the details that are given are right. Wherever you represent, there is an aspect of auditing which lays down a lot of responsibilities on us and also a lot of powers. Responsibilities as in we have to make sure that whatever we are signing off or whatever we say that is correct or true or fair has to carry that value. The title has a great value for us, but the title will carry value only as long as we carry the value of our words. ट्रू एंड फेयर ऐसा लिखा है अगर ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में, तो हमें इंश्योर करना पड़ेगा कि वो ट्रू एंड फेयर है. जब तक ये हो रहा है, we are safe and this career and profession is going to go well. But when this doesn't happen, there are going to be a lot of question marks over, can we do it? Do other people need to be involved to make sure that we do it? And do other people need to be given opportunities? we are going to talk about all those aspects right now. But the CA profession is all about primarily about auditing. Then we have a lot of opportunities that arise out of auditing. There is always some aspect, there is always 10 to 25%, 30% of auditing aspect in whatever roles that CAs are playing everywhere. Auditing is first thing. Then the second thing that this profession does, and I would always say that it's okay, you take away those two initials from my career and it doesn't matter much to me, or to a lot of CA professions might say the same thing. But the reason I say this is because it's not the CA title that carries so much value in my heart. It's more about the process, the 5 to 6 years that I've spent in this profession as a student, the way I got this title, it has given me so much confidence that I feel like I can crack most other exams very easily, or I have the confidence that I can at least appear and be the best of be among the top most of those professions, or amongst the better things. CA has taught me about auditing and other things, of course. But the best thing that CA has taught me is that it's confidence. We all gain that confidence during this CA profession. There are a lot of questions about, there are question marks around our institute's examination, the way the results are arrived at, and there are a lot of questions. But then even after those questions, we qualified as CA, we became CA, and that's really a feeling that gives us, that is a pleasure of life, that or that's the confidence that we carry for the rest of our life, that we did something better. We are amongst some of the 2 lakh or 3 lakh people who are considered to be very intellectual fraternity, and that's why it's really confidence booster for us that we are a part of this profession. So CA profession in general is very coveted, and people see it as a very reputed. Even when I go out and meet people, especially in smaller towns, not in the cities, people see CA as something, some rare gem. It's like a diamond, or a very intellectual people. And that's because of the history that we have, because this profession is difficult to qualify and become a chartered accountant. And that's why very few people were a part of this profession in the past, not in the present. The number of people forming part of this profession has increased right now, but then this has the number has increased in the recent times, and definitely it is going to increase over the years. And then there are some people who always keep saying that there's a gap in the demand and the supply. Somebody is controlling the demand, somebody is controlling the supply. Lot of questions around there. But then this is how our profession is, and that's why our profession has been always seen as something very coveted, or something very difficult to achieve, because the number of people in our profession are very few. Now there are a lot of opinions around this, that we should maintain this ratio, or some people are like, why not make it open, or etc. But let's not, that's a discussion for another day. The reason why we are such a coveted profession, or why we are considered such a reputed profession, is because, one, we are considered as an intellectual fraternity, people who have been making the income tax law, which was this much, into such a big book of income tax. That's the CAs and the lawyers, of course, and a few other professions who have regularly challenged the income tax, challenged the government, and kept the opinions of the business people at their front. So that's why this profession has always been considered with a lot of reputation. We are fewer in numbers, but the things are changing. and a lot of things have gone wrong in the recent time. You all know what I am going to enter into. The past 10 to 15 years, almost 2007-8 onwards, when the global recession began, and after that till now, a lot of things have happened, and at the front of everything is scams and scandals. As I said, we are like the rich boy of the Bollywood who has all the attention, who has all the opportunities, who are the privileged of the entire commerce stream, I would say. So that's why anything that has gone wrong, we have got a lot of attention to there. And the beginning of it was Satyam. When the Satyam case happened, that was the first time in Indian chartered accountancy history. Of course, we have other cases like other cases in US as well, and prior to that, which shook the entire world. But Satyam was officially the case which shook the entire chartered accountancy fraternity when Ramalingam Raju came out and he said that fixed deposits are fake. I mean, when we do, I was a part of the big four firms, and when we do audit, the cash and cash equivalents, which is also including fixed deposits, are considered as something, which are very easy to audit, very simple, and often it is handed over to some junior or some junior with some guidance of seniors, of course, but it is given to the juniors or the newest people in the team so that they manage the thing, because it's a simple process. There are very fixed and limited things that needs to be checked, and fixed deposit is something that you can't escape checking. And when people came to know that the fixed deposit didn't exist, or the bank accounts and all those investments were fraudulent, I think the world had to change. I mean, the world shook in those few moments. It was like an earthquake in India that chartered accountants were involved in these scams. And it has been a big perception in the entire country that people consider chartered accountants as people who have been helping businesses to save taxes legally, to save taxes illegally. And this has grown a lot after Satyam. And it's not just the people who are thinking the same. There is also government which is kind of involved, especially after the Satyam and the cases recently like the ILFS cases. And I had to come to ILFS, of course. It's trending. The partners have been fined with 25 lakh fines. The reviewer has been also fined with 25 lakhs or some 5 lakh fine. Three chartered accountants have been barred. But then again, there are questions raised because they were anyways retired by the time they were barred. So it's, of course, a loss of reputation, but then no loss of revenue apart from the fine. So there are a lot of scandals, PwC's involvement. There are big fours, and there are always questions around big fours that they escape everything from the law. They escape all the case laws because they operate under a model of network firms where they are just a brand name which is used by multiple firms at multiple locations. So there are, a lot of things around scams and scandals which we can talk about a lot. Have already heard how recent times the government has realized that this profession which is held by ICAI has to be regulated. I mean, we are the watchdogs of the entire business, entire corporate world, entire stock exchange to a very high extent relies on our professional body regulates us. But the government started feeling that this body needs to be regulated by NFRL, National Financial Reporting Authority. So NFRA is now bulldog of watchdog. Yeah. So CA keep a watch on the businesses, and NFRA keeps a watch on the CAs. Okay, so there's a dog behind a dog who is keeping a watch on everything, so that even the CAs don't make a mistake. This shows how much government has placed a faith on us, and believe me, after the scams and scandals, all of a sudden ICAI started coming up with a lot of standards on authority, standards on accounting, auditing, which weren't there before the Satyam scandal, and it was like it woke up from a sleep, a long sleep, but then it woke up and the standards were good, very nicely drafted, came from the international standards, adopted from there. But then still scams like ILFS have happened even after those standards being placed, and a lot of questions are around our fraternity. And at the epitome of all these scams, scandals, and questions is the professional body ICAI itself, because this professional body is handled by the seniors, basically the torchbearers of this institute, and they take a key role into the making sure that the various committees are operating, the people are fined, people are kept in place, were kept in contact, and seen that the people are doing their job correctly, the chartered accountants are doing their job correctly. But government, as well as people, as well as even the chartered accountants, have grown, I would say have grown kind of unconfident, or have mistrust on the there is a mistrust on ICAI from each and every angle, and that's why NFRA came into picture. And now we have a situation where the chartered accountants are involved in all kinds of scams and scandals. I mean, not all chartered accountants. I would very clearly say here that almost 98 or 99% of chartered accountants are not involved in scams and scandals. It's just a 1-2% which destroy the reputation of the entire profession. But then why even 1 or 2% are arising? And there's a lot of questions over ICAI. Government introduced NFRA. On one hand, the government has always said that chartered accountants are the big role. They play a big role in the nation building. On the other hand, the government has also pushed NFRA and made sure that there are a lot of rules placed. There is a lot of vigilance placed over ICAI. So ICAI, government, and NFRA, this seems to be a very strong situation for our profession. NFRA is now coming up with, that's the latest news, that it is going to review all accounting standards, auditing standards, come up with new standards for ICAI, and it is going to propose a lot of changes to ICAI. So NFRA has started doing its job. Its authority is also contended in Bombay High Court, but they still went on to give judgments against the Deloitte and Ernst & Young partners who were involved in ILFS and other things. So this is the second thing. But the problem is not just with ICAI, its members and the government, and its the fight with NFRA. It's also amongst the students of this fraternity. Of course, we cannot exclude the students out of this entire talk about CA profession. CA profession is equals to the chartered accountants who are seniors, the ICAI, the freshers, and the young chartered accountant brigade, and a 50% or significant part of this profession is the CA students itself, because articles के बिना audit नहीं हो सकता, ये सभी जानते हैं, ये सभी students ये सभी जानते हैं. So students are a key role. The profession is made it has evolved in such a way that articles are a key role, play a key role in the entire audit or all kinds of services that chartered accountants provide. Their articleship is key, therefore their knowledge is key, therefore the way they behave, the way they play, or the way they prosper is very important for this entire profession to prosper. So students are a key role in this entire CA profession, and absolutely when we are talking about future, we cannot just talk about the members, because they are going to be a past in future, and the students are going to be the future in the coming future. So students are an important point, and we all know it became a national issue when ICAI and students started protesting. And we all know students were not just alone over there; they were backed by a lot of coaching institutes, which are now the kind of students union, I would say. They are playing a key decision-making role in the lives of the students, whether they should go for exams, whether they should not go for exams. A lot of CAs are now on the YouTube or Facebook, or constantly in touch with students. They are, of course, on the other hand of behind this wall, they are making a lot of profits over there, which we all know, we all calculate on our calculators during the accounting or SFM classes. But then they have been playing a major role in how the decisions are taken by the students, whether it was about protesting, whether it was about whether exams should be postponed, not postponed. They have been the people pushing the students behind, and I won't say that they are wrong or they are right. There are question marks over there, and but then the coaching institutes have become an part of this profession, part of the students' fraternity, just like the same is the case with IIT JEE students who and the coaching institutes in Kota and various places around India, which have become popular, and the decisions about examinations and a lot of other things. There is involvement of these coaching institutes everywhere. So our profession is not just scandalous. It's not just in problems with the government or the regulatory problems are there. We are also having a problem with our students, the future, and the coaching institutes, independent institutes. There is no regulation around them. Nobody is going to control them, what they teach, what they don't teach, whether they are teaching the same thing as ICAI is expecting their students to learn, because these coaching institutes teach the students, and these students are actually going to form part of ICAI, and this ICAI is going to fight with the government, NFRA, and probably save us from scams, avoid scams, or maybe have some scams. So students and coaching institutes have become an integral part of this profession, and I would say the situation is degrading day by day. This situation is degrading. I would say that all coaching institutes are there for teaching the students. Teaching has become now a second priority. This has become the first priority, and that's what is hurting us so much. This profession is being hurt by these coaching institutes. Well, that's not the end of this list, because we have another big issue in our profession, which is never mentioned. It's like it's underwater. This nobody talks about it. It's there. It's accepted. We are just living with it, and that's called as work culture. We have the worst work culture in India amongst various professions. We can talk about the work culture of this profession is very bad. I'm sorry to the aspiring students. You might have a lot of expectations from this course and your future career, but this is something that is I don't have words to express about work culture. We work day in, day out. There are due dates. We are always falling behind due dates. The clients may be cooperative, sometimes client and the auditors have a tussle amongst them, and I mean, there is a culture of working around 2, 3 in the night as well. Then there are no big fat pays that are accompanied for the same. The articles who are like the 50% of the audit teams most of the time, they are not paid well. I mean, how will people work when they are not paid or they are not rewarded for the work that they are doing? So there is a big problem. There is a big question over the work culture in this profession, and certainly. That work culture is making us weaker day by day. Our immunity is growing weaker day by day, and this immunity is right now being tested. Let's see how many CAs survive after this pandemic, because work culture is not good, and not having a good work culture is definitely a big question mark, or biggest question mark over how the CA profession is going to survive. And when you are weak, that's an opportunity for your opponents, for other competitors to pitch in, and that's where these other professions like CS, CMA, CFA, and other things, who are competent, who are knowledgeable bodies, and they are always looking for opportunities. We are living in a democracy, and they have all equal rights to pitch in, get into areas where CAs had the control, and that's why I mean, they are grabbing all opportunities. A simple example I would say right now, recently a person came into my office and he said that he's ready to do the GSTR 2A matching, that a lot of clients are facing a problem. Now, here the situation is that the GSTR 2A matching is a very long process, but it is very important for the purpose of audits. Now, all chartered accountants, or many chartered accountants, have given up that they are not going to do this matching. Of course, it's the responsibility of the clients to make sure that they do it. So, on one hand, clients are not educated, or they are not capable, or they are not able to match it. On the other hand, the educated fraternity, which is the chartered accountants, are not ready to take up that job because of their work culture, which is already making them forced to work so much for so little. Of course, there is pressure from scams, pressure from government, pressure from NFRA, which is making their life living hell. But then other professions are making most of these opportunities, and that's the reason why we see CS, CMA, CFA actuaries, even BCom graduates are making sure to make this opportunity. I mean, what a great opportunity it is to just make sure that you make a tool for GSTR to a matching. And once you have a good tool, a good spreadsheet, or good way of calculation, you can easily grab thousands of clients maybe and help them and charge them. I mean, businesses are happy to pay if you are solving the problem that auditors have raised, and auditors are happy that the businesses are giving them the solution. So it's a win-win for both. But then what is happening here is that the chartered accountancy profession is losing those areas, and these areas are going to other people, rightfully going to other people, but they are going, and all lands up to our work culture, which is not so great. We need of course, we need a pay structure for our employees, for our articles, which is much better than what it is right now. I mean, right now it's negligible. So immaterial, I would say. So the work culture is a big problem, and that's where we are today. What went wrong? Scams have happened. Government is against us. NFRA is behind us. Students and ICAI are not able to cooperate, or there's no kind of trust among them too. Coaching institutes are interfering, I would say, into the matters of the memberships, and I mean, like, a lot of things are there around that. And something that is not discussed in most forums or everywhere is our work culture, which is very bad, very pathetic, and the other professions who are making most of these opportunities. This is all what has happened with us. And looking about the current situation, it doesn't seem like we have a solution for well, 1, 2, 3, 4. None of this. We don't have a solution for any of these situations that are there. And even if we have solutions, we are not very sure whether this professional body is ready to accept them. So I am pitching here a big question over to everyone watching. Uh, is this profession dying? Is this profession dying? Because we are in a situation that is very difficult, and day by day it's a declining graph that we have right now. The situations is not better than they were in the past. So is this profession dying? And my answer here is yes. It might surprise you. It might surprise you that I am a chartered accountant. It might surprise you that in the past I have said on various forums and written as well that this profession is dying, or is not dying, or basically it might improve in the future. But the hopes of improving here are very low and not so high that we can really trust our futures into this. But does that mean that we should start worrying about our careers, or we should start doing some other profession, or pursuing a different career path, or start taking some other memberships? It's a big question about our future and future life that we have ahead of us. If our career is dying, if our profession is dying, then how are we going to survive it? Well, we can survive it, but we have out of the herd mentality that we have, that we are a part of a big professional institute, that is ICAI. I mean, at institute level, at professional level, at CA level, at the title level, we are dying, and we may not have a greater future, or the kind of future that we had, or kind of situation that we had in the past, the opportunities that we had in the past. This profession is going to be stripped of its powers and responsibilities as and when we go ahead. We have artificial intelligence coming into our profession. We have technology being used. Regulations are against us. Students are not the same that they were in the past. I can really frankly say, I have interacted with a lot of students. I can really tell that the kind of knowledge that the rankers, toppers, I'm not generalizing here, but there are many rankers and toppers, or even high scorers, who are not really possessing the knowledge that they should, because many of them are skipping their articleships. Many of them are just roto learning the professionals. The course of our profession, or the things that we need to know, they are just roto learning it. Coaching institutes are teaching them various kinds of methodologies, and in short, the knowledge factor is coming down, and it's more about right now is numbers. They have good numbers, they have good rankings and other things, but then what they don't have is the knowledge. This is not a generalized thing. There are many who are really good at what they do. They are better than most others, but then the percentage of the error, we can say, as we call it as an SFM, the error percentage is growing day by day, and this is really an alarming situation. On the other hand, there are many students who are good, who are really good at what they do, who are really good at their work, but they are failing at exams. So they are not going to be part of the institute itself. The institute needs good people. Institute needs good students who need to be part of this profession, but then they are not going to be part of profession just because they are not getting the opportunities, getting the membership, not passing the exams. There are a lot of situations. So there are many others who have just scored lower marks, but then they are good enough to pitch in or play a very good professional character when they are needed as an auditors or as any other profession. There are many others who have just skipped the course and went into other fields and prospered over there. So as I said, this profession is dying. Yes, it is dying, but then we need to salvage ourselves. Okay, as I say in when somebody is when there is flood or when there is a situation where everybody is dying, first make sure that you salvage yourself. You make sure that you are safe. जब विमान गिर रहा होता है तब make sure that you first wear your own mask and then later on try to help others. So maybe this profession might not have the same kind of situation that is there or same kind of opportunities that were there in the past. Yes, this is a very progressive way of or maybe digressive way of looking at the profession, but then I don't have much expectation from this profession. I have a lot of expectations from the individuals who may not be the members of this institute, who may be a member of this institute but not getting the opportunities, or overall who are just trying to be better in their lives. I mean, you don't need membership. You don't need the title. This title doesn't carry that much value as much as your knowledge does. And this is one thing that you need to keep in your mind for your entire life. It's not the title that carries the value. It's the knowledge which has the power, and it is your abilities, it's your skill sets that are going to be very important. And that's why where are we headed to? And that is something that we need to think about ourselves and not about the entire fraternity. I mean, ICAI, there will always be questions about its results, but what we need to look after or look beyond it is that how are we going to succeed, make opportunities for ourselves, and ensure that our career is on track. The profession as together may not succeed much, but then the individuals, you can salvage yourself and you can make sure that by improving your own skill set, you can improve this. You can improve the situation. So where are we headed to? We are headed to a situation where we need to start thinking about ourselves. We need to make sure that the generalization of our institute or generalization of the things that are happening around us, जो लोग CA प्रोफेशन के बारे में बोल रहे हैं, उससे अलग हमें हमारी एक पहचान बनानी होगी. हमें उससे बेटर बनना पड़ेगा. अगर ग्लोबल लेवल पे स्कैम्स हो रहे हैं तो वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट वी आर नॉट we have reputation of our own. The profession might die, but the chartered accountant can survive, or the person can survive, irrespective of whether he is not part of this fraternity membership. So this is how we have to look at it, and this is how we have to look at our future. This is how we have to approach our future. And ओके, थ्योरेटिकल तो हो गया बहुत कि भैया ठीक है, खुद के बारे में सोचो, दैट्स अ पॉइंट, यस, बट हाउ डू वी सेव आवर फ्यूचर? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन a lot of people are going to have in their mind. And very frankly, we have to start making sure that we think about ourselves. And there are a few pointers from my end that I want to share with you all. First of all is very simple and very clear: upgrade your skills. Your skill set is your power. I mean, your knowledge, of course, most people have or possess enough knowledge to make sure that they qualify as a chartered accountant, or they do the work that a chartered accountant does. We are a fraternity who has abundant knowledge. I mean, you just show the income tax book to anybody else and tell them that this is the book that we have read, and qualified to become a chartered accountant, and then they will understand that how difficult or how much knowledge that we possess. I mean, people are in awe. How can they remember the entire income tax? Of course, we don't remember the entire book, but then we know a lot about the entire book that is there, or the auditing the skills, or the different situations that are there. But that knowledge is good, but we need to go beyond it, because this world is changing. Marketing is becoming very important. I mean, even politicians are doing marketing. So तुम तो chartered accountant हो, तुम्हें तो करना ही पड़ेगा. I'm not saying that you need to start advertising, put up flyers, banners, websites, and everything else. But your advertising is through your as a person. There are goods niche, like एक कोई भी टॉय हो या फिर कुछ भी हो, उसे एक अच्छा सा कवर लगा दिया एंड अच्छे से स्टोर पे रख दिया, तो people are going to buy it. That's a product. But then that's not the same with the services. In case of services, it's the human touch. How you treat people, how you treat your juniors, seniors, client, how you negotiate with them, how you talk with them, how you address their problems, how you ask their problems, or are you even paying attention to their problems? Are you prepared enough to face or help them to face the future problems? I mean, you can always foresee the future problems that are going to come in the compliances. But of course, Form 26AS, which is changing right now, a lot of things are happening. Faceless assessment is coming up. You know that things are changing right now. Your business client doesn't know it, but you need to make sure that you are prepared, you are ready with everything that will be required, and you have the required skill set to make sure that this is happening. But then the skill set is such a big word. I mean, इतना कुछ है भैया, क्या क्या करूं, वोकैबुलरी बढ़ाऊं, राइटिंग बढ़ाऊं, या फिर आई मीन क्या करूं, मतलब इतना कुछ है, मेरी जिंदगी निकल जाएगी ये सब करते हुए. आई हैव बीन देयर एंड लेट मी हेल्प यू विद दैट. There is a way to approach which skill sets you need to adopt or bring in first, and that's the first thing is that starts with where you want to be in future. Okay, if you want to be, I'm not. This is not the interview question where you say I want to be this, that. No, not that. This is a clear vision. What you want to do. Not 10 years ago, not 10 years later, not 5 years later. It's just in the near future, 1 or 2 years later. I mean, what are you expecting to do? A very simple example, if you want to be in a Big Four firm, you have to start making a list of skills that are required to be in Big Four firm. How do you notice the skills? Is very simple. You start talking with the people who are in Big Four, and they will tell you, that these are the skills that they are looking for, or this is the way Big Four runs. This is the expectations from the job, that you interact with the client, that you are good at your writing skills, that you are good with the knowledge, and you are a confident person. These are the things that matter. I'm just naming a few. So these are the pointers that you need to note down and start working on those areas. If your focus is very clear that you want to be in a Big Four firm, then you will already know what are the skill sets required. Basically, you have to ask that person, ask for experiences to share. I mean, what happens, how their office runs, how their promotions are happening, how they are getting those extra bonus money. So that will tell you what are the skills that are required. And then you have to start working on that. And well, you can start working today, but then for those who are looking into their future, I mean, today you might be in articleship, 2 years, 3 years later, you might be, working in a Big Four or wanting to work in a Big Four. So you have to start working from today. That's the reason why a few students get good jobs, get good clients, or practice set up a good practice. Because they are looking into their future. They know that this is what I want to do. Okay, when you know what you want to do, when you know you have to go Kerala, you are going to take the train or flight that reaches Kerala. Okay, when you don't know where you have to go, you might reach Orissa, or you might reach West Bengal, or you might reach Delhi, which is very polluted as well. So make sure that you know what your goal is, and if you don't have a goal, find one goal. Talk to people. Make sure that you are participating in a lot of conversations, maybe talks like this, maybe seminars where CAs are speaking. Talk to people, gather their experiences, and that's how you will come to know how they become. I mean, when you ask MS Dhoni why he came into cricket, and the answer is he saw Sachin Tendulkar. When you ask any other, I mean, similar personalities, and they will tell you that they were inspired from people, they were watching them, they felt that, this is what I want to do, because they came to know this because they saw it, and they felt that, this will be a very good and enjoying work that we'll have. Of course, if you are not going to enjoy your goal, this you're going to be facing a lot of difficulties, and probably you will not achieve your goal ever. This is because if you can't enjoy it, if you can't enjoy the process and the goal, I mean, you're not going to be passionate about it. And when there's no passion, it's just daily job that you are doing, and that's why you will not be very interested into achieving something. So find a goal which is going to be keeping you which will keep you interested. If you are not passionate, if you don't know what your passion is, at least approach something which is keeping you interested. Of course, in the profession, you can go beyond it as well. Okay, there's ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. आप CS का काम भी कर सकते हैं, बस आपको सीखने की जरूरत है कि वो कैसे किया जाता है. It's not necessary that you grab that course or the membership. Of course, you can. It's a plus point, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary कि आप सिर्फ वही करें या उसी में सोचे, उसी बॉक्स के अंदर रहे जो बाकी CAs कर रहे हैं. It's like you might see a Sachin Tendulkar over here, but you can do better than Sachin Tendulkar as well, and that's what you need to think, and that's your goal should be. I mean, it has to be something that keeps you interested. It has to be clear that this is what you want to do, and once you know that this is something you want to do, you have to list down the points that are required to reach there, and this will tell you what your skill set should be. And needless to say, you have to start working today. That's where it all begins. That's where it all becomes important, that how to do it. And in this process of learning the skills, the most important thing that people fail to do is testing. I mean, लोग एग्जाम्स तो देने जाते हैं, लेकिन एग्जाम से पहले खुद को टेस्ट नहीं करते, इसलिए एग्जाम में जाते ही बस they lose their wicket and they lose the match as well. So it's important that you do a lot of practice, a lot of put yourself into different situations. If you are somebody who is very introvert, be introvert in personal life, but when it comes to professional life, you have to give up that introvertness. I mean, I am introvert, but when it comes to my work, I try to be as clearer, as talkative, or whatever the situation might require, you have to give in everything. So whether it's your nature, whether it's your disabilities or special abilities, whether it's your financial background, you have to give up everything and start working on your goal. There are no ways, I mean, everything always has an alternative way which we can proceed something with. So if the plan A is not working, try plan B, try plan C, keep trying it till you have reached your goal. Because That's how things would happen. That's how people achieve things. It's not like people who have aced exams in the one go are somebody who are intellectual or something. It's something they have practiced at home. They have practiced or tried at their home a lot of times, and then when the big exam came, they were all prepared. They learned from their experiences. I mean, the reason why COVID-19 is such a big pandemic today is because people don't know what COVID is. I mean, मुझे कोरोना हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है ये आई डोंट नो दैट बट व्हेन आई गेट फीवर आई नो ओके मुझे बुखार आया है मुझे सर्दी लगी है वी नो दैट सो व्हेन यू हैव पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस यू आर गोइंग टू फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम very easily. Okay, so that's the challenge that we need to give ourselves. Give the small challenges, start making it bigger. Life is all about becoming better than what we were yesterday, and if you are just living the same life every day, I mean, you're not living, you are just surviving. So anyways, philosophical away, but the skill set is very important. And the next thing that after skill set is you have to find your problems. Okay, you don't have to find your solutions, of course you have to find your solutions as well, but before finding your solutions you have to find your problems. What is lacking in you? What is wrong with you? Okay, what is wrong with CA profession? We have already discussed those scams, NFRA, ICAI, students, coaching institutes, work culture. That's a part. But what is wrong with you? Why are you not working enough, or why you are failing, or why do you get emotional, or maybe you have to list those points as well. You have to make sure that you work on those problems as well, and find solutions to those problems. You will not get solution in a day, but it will take time. But if you start the journey someday, or soon, or someday later, you will get the solutions to those. So act on your problems. Firstly is to improve your skill set. Second is to work on your problems. These are two things. Number 3, one second. Just let me get back to the screen sharing. Okay, so number 1 is skill set, and number 2 is your working on your problems. Then you have to tap into new areas or new avenues of working. I mean, you cannot work into those same areas where the old the senior chartered accountants are working. They have their stronghold over there, and you are not going to not defeat them so easily in those areas. So you have to start looking into new professional opportunities where people are less. Okay, in stock market there's a saying that if something is already in the news, it means it has already affected the price itself. Okay, so it's not like when you get the news, after that you start acting on it. Even before you get the news, even before the something major is announced, you have to be aware about that happening, and you have to act at that time. That's how you make profits in the stock market, and that's how you are going to make profits in your life as well. You have to tap into those new opportunities early, and thinking about it in future. I mean, Uber or a lot of big startups, they have all come out of 2008 recession period. Okay, when the entire world went down, these startups, these are unicorn startups right now. So they arose from those situations. Even your life, when it is hitting the low, that's a time when you have to start working on things, and that's how you will get successful, get more successful in future. So you have to start thinking beyond the areas that you have worked, and you have to go beyond those areas. Start thinking about those areas which very few people are working, so that makes your value higher. That's how CA profession, as we discussed, CA profession की reputation इतनी ज़्यादा क्यों है? क्योंकि हम कम लोग हैं. In the past, that was the situation. Now it is growing, but that's why that's a way of working. जो rare है, diamond is rare, gold is rare. That's why they have a value. So you have to do something that others are not doing. or you have to develop that skill set that अगर income tax का assessment करवाना तो इसी बंदे से करवाइए because he always nails it. That's how you have to be. That's how you have to be, and that's why people say specialize. I mean, when you try to specialize into something, you develop some skill set that nobody else has. So specialization is a step ahead of it, but first you have to find out new professional opportunities. You have to start working on areas, you have to tap into those areas. माइनिंग करनी होगी, कोल की माइनिंग जैसे होती है वैसे ही जाइए, ढूंढिए अपना कोल, शायद आपको कोल की जगह गोल्ड मिल जाए. सो ट्राई टू डू दैट. After skills work, you working on your problems and tapping into new areas, the next thing is you have to make sure that you are making life easy, not yours. Okay, सबको यही पड़ी है कि मेरे पास गाड़ी बंगला सब कुछ हो और मेरी लाइफ इजी हो, बट आपकी लाइफ इजी तभी होगी जब आप दूसरों की लाइफ इजी कर रहे हैं. So you have to make sure as a chartered accountant you are making the lives of business people easier. How you are making easier? Audit करके आप किसी का लाइफ इजी शायद कर रहे, नहीं कर रहे, it's a compliance thing, that's why you are doing it. But maybe if you provide some business solutions, maybe you provide more business ideas, maybe you make sure that that compliance is very hassle free, this end to that end, it goes into a straight line. I mean, end to end solutions, that is going to work in the future as well, because that's the decade that we are into. We have solutions for everything. People are working on end-to-end solutions, making life simpler. GST Act is making laws simpler. Modi is making life simpler, the government simpler. So this is how the trend is, and that's how it is going to be in future. The next thing is find your second job, or maybe a side hunch, basically. COVID-19 has expressed us that has explained that how life can be if you are just relying on one source of income or one area. So always make sure that you have two areas. It doesn't necessarily need to be very engaging. I mean, you can work out on Sunday to Sunday. You can make investment your second opportunity. You can start writing. You can start speaking. You can be a YouTuber. TikTok to nahi raha, but then there are a lot of things that you can do. You can do for your interest, not just for money, because I mean, sometimes you may not be happy with your profession, but then at least the other thing that you are going to do, that will make you keep happy. This speaking, this talk with you is making me happy. That's how I work as a chartered accountant every day. So do something that keeps you motivating. If it is not the accountancy profession that is keeping you enlightened and happier every day. Clear tax is one example of the end-to-end solutions for business. They tapped into that opportunity. Even today I was talking to a person and he said that till today I have always filed my returns through he was an engineer and he filed all his returns through Clear Tax, because Clear Tax has provided an end-to-end solution. They don't need to go chartered accountants. They just need that Form 16A. Everything is explained on their portal and everything, and it's fast, easy, and breezy. Yes. So end-to-end solutions, that's what you need to work on. You need to make sure that you have a second source of income. It's not necessary that when you are doing a job, you can't do a little bit of practice on the side. You can keep in touch with various areas. You can write, you can read, you can start reading. Even the start of another area or another job or interest is from reading. Okay, so you can even start reading about, let's say, stock markets, and in 2 or 3 years you might get a lot of knowledge about it, but of course that knowledge has to be converted into something. The process has to be initiated. That's my point. I mean, you have to work on two areas side by side so that your life is in a neutral zone. I mean, sometimes you can be in first gear, second gear, but you can also have a neutral gear in your car. Next thing that I want to say about everything that we have is that you have to be healthy. Yes, I mean, nothing is going to work in future if you don't have appropriate health. So work on your health as well, because COVID-19 is a simple explanation to the situation that we are into, that you have to work on your health and family and personal goals. I mean, these things keep you alive. These keeps will keep you motivated towards your career, and that's how everything are interconnected and work. So how do we save our future? These are the things that we need to do. uh, the these are the things that we need to do. Apart from this, how do we save our future? Now this time I'm giving it a double quote, single quote over there, and I've talked about the a lot about the long term future. But let's talk about the immediate future right now, which is because of the post-COVID and pre-COVID situation that we are into. So, how can we really make the best in this time. I mean, some really practical situation that we are into right now. So for people who are in 12th, 10th, and they're worried about their future, I've just laid down the path that we have to work on. Work on skill sets, try to explore as much as possible, try to get into all kinds of activities, make the most of articleship. I mean, you don't become a CA, it's okay, but still make sure that you earn as much as possible in terms of knowledge from articleship. It's a hardship, but still an articleship. So for students, coming to the students who are in foundation stage or the IPCC, articleship is your key feature of your entire career, of your resume, of your portfolio. So to make sure that you get good opportunities in articleship, make sure that you are working well on your marks, because yes, it's an unfair world, but then you have to live in it. There's no other option. So if you are going to live in it, then make sure that a few things like marks, make sure that you get them better. But of course, this COVID-19 situation has given you an extra time, extra opportunity to read, to understand concepts more thoroughly, something that your coaching institute teacher may have taught you, may not have taught you, just might have given you some acronyms. So make sure that you know what are the meanings of those words in those acronyms, and make sure that your knowledge is better. I mean, 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, 1 month, people might not recognize you. 5 years, people might not recognize you. But if you have the knowledge in long term, you are bound to succeed if you work with that passion. So for students in articleship, I just want to say that work hard. I mean, it's a difficult life to during the articleship, but those 3 years are going to be a blessing for your entire career. Be open to learning. I mean, don't just restrict yourself into some areas. Your 3 years of articleship and probably the first 3 years of your career after becoming a CA, this 6 years, you have to make sure that in these 6 years, you learn it about different areas, different professions, or the skills that we, as a chartered accountant, you have to make sure that you are crossing out them one by one, because once you gain knowledge of all these areas, that's when you will feel very confident as a chartered accountant to pursue different kind of things, and you will always have the option to if I can't do the job, I can definitely become a practitioner. So don't get into a situation where I'm going to do job only and then I don't need to explore situations. You have to become a good chartered accountant by developing all kind of knowledge, all kind of skill sets and this first 6 years or the 3 years of articleship plus 3 years of your career as a fresher, these are going to be very important for you, and make sure that you explore as much as possible. It's okay to leave jobs in 6 to 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, or 1 year, 2 year. I mean, whenever you feel that you have saturated, there is nothing more new to learn in here, you have to shift your job You have to start learning something new, and this thing you have to continue till your parents say that, beta settle ho ja. So I mean, not technically that is your point, but then jokes apart, you have to reach a situation where you should feel that, I have explored enough. And once you reached that situation that, okay, I know a lot of cities, it's like when you have traveled a lot of cities, that's when you can say, okay, I like Delhi or I like Mumbai. But if you have lived your entire life in, let's say, only Delhi, then how are you going to say that I like this or I like that? It's the same with our career. You have to try different opportunities. And when you explore all of them in your initial career, that's when you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead with this one single thing. Let's say if it is work. If this doesn't work, I will always have something in back of my mind that, okay, this is the second opportunity I can try. If this is not working, I will try to do this. So that's how smart people plan their career, and that's how I'm recommending you to do this. Make sure that you are planning your future well. Articleship is key, and for those people who are into their CA final examinations and just waiting to clear examinations, I know there is a lot of stress and situation. Exams will happen, not happen. There is a situation of COVID-19 and the pandemic and the news, the SSR, whatever is happening, you need to stay away from this. The first thing I tell students is that audio visual, your audio visual abilities, which is your eyes, your ears, your speaking, whatever you say, and these affect a lot on your brain. And if you are going to give it to the television set, I mean, they are not very well utilized, and that's why it is going to affect the way you study for your exams and prepare on your results as well. So make sure that you avoid all those things and stay in the bubble. Yes, I'm asking you to stay in the CA bubble until you become a CA, or the few years of articleship and CA final, because once you qualify as a CA, you will have enough time, you will have independence, and you will become you can explore areas. I mean, you can explore the world as you want it. But till you become a CA or till you are into academics, at least make sure that you are in this bubble of examinations and knowledge, skill sets, improving your life, everything else. I mean, whatever is required for your career, make sure those things are in place. Once this is set, you will be on a platform, you will be on a stage, global stage, from where you can start thinking about your personal life, your career, your health, and everything else. And start working on each of them after that. But for this part, apart from health, make sure that you have a good focus, major focus on your career. Coming to the CA freshers, I mean, I know you are in a situation where you are not getting job opportunities, but this is a situation which has come to because I'm going to be harsh. You haven't been working on your skill sets. Companies always need employees who fit in that job role. It's not the CA title that is going to get you job. It's the way you speak, the way you handle situations, the knowledge that you possess, the way you apply the knowledge, and also the way you explain it to the other person. This is what is important. This is why people hire you. I mean, I don't need an employee who is just the all India ranker one and the best person, but I need an employee who is going to get the job done for me when required. And it doesn't need, I mean, jobs which are not very dynamic don't need people who are like very, very educated or something else. They just need to deliver. You will be trained at your job how to do it. You just need to make sure that you have those basic skills that the company is expecting. So if you are not getting jobs right now, Of course, first of all, keep trying. Even if you don't like a job, at least go and give the interview. This will improve your knowledge in terms of interview skills, in terms of what different companies are expecting, what they are giving to pay, and it's if you have free time, then utilize it for interviews. So give interviews as much as possible, and work on the future that you want to. Okay, so you might be in a situation where you don't have a job, and you might have to accept the job that is giving that you have right now, or which is low paying, or not something that you wanted. But keep your focus on that bigger goal that you had planned for this. Okay, take this job, and at the same time keep working on the skill sets that are required for this another job. You may want to get into investment banking, but you may have landed in a mid-sized firm. So keep working in a mid-sized firm. Of course, it's your responsibility, financial situation, anything can be there. So keep, of course, you will have to keep working in the whatever opportunities you are getting, but at the same time, parallelly, you have to work on these skill sets. If you want to achieve your goals, this is the situation that life is putting in front of you, and well, accept it as a challenge and start working on those skills. So CA freshers also see practice as an opportunity. Also see practice as an opportunity for the short-term period that is right now. I mean, it's you may not be getting jobs right now, but you can definitely file ITR 1 for people around you and earn from there. It's an opportunity. It's you can pick up any one skill, any one area, grow your knowledge into it. You are chartered accountants, you are knowledgeable people, you have done all those 8 to 9 modules in your IPCC level, in your foundation level, in your final level, those 3 years of articleship. You have done a lot. You are a good learner, and that's why make sure that you don't fear from learning something new. Just see what is there. I'm pretty sure 99% of chartered accountants are capable of learning anything new very easily, and if you have just have that little bit of confidence and the motivation to do it. So I'm giving you this motivation that try to learn something new. And this is the place where I'm going to, this is the point where I'm going to end this session. I just have one last thing that I want to say, that you can see the slide. There are a lot of wires over here, circuits situation. I chose this template because I wanted to give an impression that that's how your life is once you become a chartered accountant. Of course, this entire slide is not full of fully of those circuits, but when you were a student, you were in 10th or 12th, that's when you decided to become CA. You passed CPT, your next goal was IPCC, your next goal was final, and you kept trying, and became a chartered accountant one day. In this entire time, you never had to set up goals for your life, because the goal was very clear. Pass the exams, 400 marks, okay, 400 marks, that's all you need, right? So start working on that, how you need to achieve, and you know that what is the criteria for passing, what is the criteria for achieving your goal, or what your goal is. But once you become a chartered accountant, this is how the life is for you. I mean, this is how the life appears. This is the way your goals can be, what you can do in life. This is the complex situation where you are going to stand. And the only way out of this solution, out of this situation, is that you gain the clarity of what you want to do. Once you know that what you want to do, I think these bays will become a clear picture, and then you will have everything that you need. I mean, you can develop the skill set, everything that follows. So you need to find this and a passion or the interest that you need This is very important. You need to set short-term goals, what you want to do at the end of each year, within 6 months, within 12 months, within 2 years. You need to set those goals yourselves, because there's no exam that is going to happen. Life itself is an exam right now. So make sure you set goals and keep working on it. When you have goals in life, your eyes would be on the goals and not on the distractions that are around. Well, in this 2020, there are a lot of distractions. So make sure you have that goal planned in your mind, and keep working on it, keep eyeing for it. Okay. If you need any help you on goal setting, or on various problems that you might be facing in setting your career, you can always approach me. I will share the details very soon in the descriptions and everything else. So yes, Himanshu, yeah, longer than we expected, I guess. Yes. So that's where I end today's session. I hope you like this session and the video. You can contact me whenever you want. Thanks, Himanshu, for this platform and this opportunity. So over to you. I think your audio is muted, so we can't hear you. Yeah, yeah. Yes, right. Yes. 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 I think it happened. When you are developing a skill, you don't know actually. It just starts developing, and one day you realize, okay, I'm better than this. I'm better than others on this area. Well, okay. Just 1 second. Sorry, Manchu, I've just lost a bit of electricity problem. But anyways, I think I might be audible, and I would like to answer your question. Uh, yeah. So basically, I mean, when I was in articleship, I saw my I mean, I saw my, principal basically, who was very good at speaking with people and writing emails or anything else, reports, other things, and he always helped me, to get correctly. So for me, at that situation, he was my Sachin Tendulkar, and I started seeing, okay, he's a good chartered accountant, he's doing well because of these skill sets, and I felt that I know I should have these skills to become better in future. So I started, learning from him. I started observing him. Observing is where we start developing a skill. That's the key thing. I mean, once you start observing, you start learning, and then that's a process that goes on. After that, it's a passion. I mean, you start observing, you can observe things, and you can definitely learn by observing. But then, uh, but then,
I think we have lost the connection with Saurabh. I think we have lost the connection. So till we are trying to reconnect with Saurabh, I think lot of people are watching us, lot of chartered accountants are watching us. I have a question for them. Do you think CA profession is going to survive for the next 20 years? If the answer is yes, there should be a reason behind it, and I want you to comment those reasons into the comment box. Yeah, Saurabh, people are still waiting for you. So
sorry, I just
no problem, no problem. Please
lost the
continue.
internet connection. Yeah. So it starts from observing and then learning, and in the long run, it's a passion. I mean, I aim for becoming better at writing every day. I thought I should write better. I started writing more and more emails. Of course, I started spending more time on emails. I started writing more on reports. I started taking opportunities wherever I had that. No, I want to write reports. Then ICAI's opportunities like paper presentations, and there were long essays over there. So that's how it initially started. And once I became a chartered accountant, I thought, I need to professionalize this. I mean, I need to be better at writing. And I have the knowledge as a chartered accountant and the skill set as writing.
I
So
think
that
if you said that if
started
you want
felt
to
that
if you
I
want to
should.
become better at writing or anything else, go deeper into it. I think at this point you have already
Yeah.
highlighted. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, once I mean, you find your interest. I mean, it has to be your interest, and once you think that this is interesting, you just need to go or divulge more into it. I mean, with passion, and I think it will take you longer one day. So it's not very difficult. It starts with something. It started with an email for me, and I mean, that's how I started writing. It more and more, wrote Quora articles and everything else.
So basically, it's about finding your passion, finding your goals, and thereupon
Yes,
acting upon it. So, as a
right.
professional, as a chartered accountant, I'm also a chartered accountant. I got to know
Yes,
a lot of things like what I need to do while I'm into the practice. So
right.
it can be like as we all are facing this pandemic, and this pandemic has given us the opportunity to think about what we can do apart from what we are doing already.
Right, right. The
So
pandemic is actually, it's as I had started this session. I think we need to look into our past and the future right now in our present. That what we have done in the past and how we can improve it in our future. This is like the starting point of everything else. The world before this and the world after this can be different if we work today actually. So that's how the situation is right now, and we need to work on the future right now. It's really a high time.
yeah. So final 2 minutes line from you to all those who are listening to you and learning from you. So what do you want to say now?
I think try to be better than yesterday. That should be your goal. Everybody makes mistake. I mean, I have made mistakes Sachin has made mistakes. Mahatma Gandhi had made mistakes. But then, if you try to be better than your yesterday, you are going to be better in your tomorrow as well. There's one yardstick to measure this basically. If you can laugh on your past, I mean, we always think about how I was in article shape. Oh my god, this is the way I wrote an email, and this is how now I write my email. And I think 5 years later I'm going to laugh on my today's email and say, oh, this is how I used to write email. So if that is the process, you are improving actually. If you can laugh on your past, you are improving. It's just you need to keep on that process and try to be good at it. That's all.
We need to keep
So
that eye
better than this.
also on how we are progressing.
Right.
Right. So that was a fantastic discussion with you, and I would like to again, on behalf of entire family of iTalks Circle, thank you for sparing your time for uh, giving us the fantastic opportunity to learn from you, and we'll continue to invite you for hosting different sessions from time to time. And thank you so much, and to all the viewers for keep watching these kind of discussions on daily basis on whenever we are organize such live sessions. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Tomorrow at the same time 7 p.m. we are going to conduct a live session on burning issues on ITC in GST. So that is also to be conducted by a fantastic speaker, and we hope to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you
Have a
very
great,
much.
have a great.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah, bye.